So,
But usually sometimes they can use a 22 gauge. I mean, it's okay for alarms.
So I'm assuming that each relay, if you got 138 relays, each relay could represent a specific zone along the fence line.
Yeah.
So that could give me 138 zones per se.
Yeah. I mean for the GFN 3000, we can create up to 128 virtual zones.
Virtual zones?
Yeah, virtual zones. So like a group of sensors, and each virtual zones you can assign a relay on it.
Okay.
You can even assign a relay for tempering. So if someone open the cover, there is temper here.
And that's a specific relay.
Specific, you can specific relay. Or usually sometimes they can grab the 16 control unit, all the tempers together in one relay for troubleshooting, maintenance, or cutting cable, technical perimeter fault.
Okay.
And very important for the GFence 2400, using the API, so you can even going with each sensor individually. Let's say for the VMS, you can send the sensor and do point, and you can make an action such as PTZ presets, sending on 3 meters specific section. So this is usually the different action scenario.
So gates, always a question. We've got a few ways to protect gates, and again, whether it's swing, pedestrian, slide. So we actually created what's called a gate connector for that can be manually. If it's a gate that isn't used a whole lot, we can use the gate connector for that, and it just you don't have protection on the gate per se, but you unhinge it when you need to get into the gate. But we'll get into our infrared systems in a moment. But Portalis is an infrared beam that will go on either side of the gate to protect it. Infrared barrier. So Portalis goes with the GFence 3000, also solar, and the Miras is the active infrared barrier that would be a tower to protect a gate in a wired situation. And then if trenching is available, obviously we can do that and go around. We've got a couple of there we go. So Ramsey can talk to the different applications.
So this is actually a sliding gate. It could be manual or automated sliding gate. So how it works, so if you see, it's not very clear. If you see, this is the green cable. So this is actually the green cable sensors. So we have a couple of fence panel, sensor 1, 2, 3, 4, up to a link box. Then we use inert cable, 18 gauge for wires, braid cable, conduit pipe.
Trench.
We bypass, trench. We bypass the sliding gate, and then we use the same link box, and we can continue.
How do you
With
protect
all the
the
sensors.
gate?
Now the gate itself can be protected with active infrared barrier. So we will have, let's say, one transmitter or one receiver, for the gates itself, and it has dry contact on board, and dry contact for the bottom of the column. You can connect to the auxiliary input near the control unit.
Why can't we put a sensor on the gate?
No, the sensor on the gate, this is good for swing gate, double swing gate, single swing gate, main gates, yes.
There you go.
Bar, but the sliding gate, you will have an issue with the sliding gate for the sensor. So this is
what kind of issue? What issue am I going to have with the sensor? Is it a cabling issue?
Yeah, it's a cable issue because
But if I resolve the cabling issue, it's not a hard thing to do.
No, because in that case, we have this some specific integrator using the sensor, but we don't recommend that even the manufacturer, because we need to use a specific wheel to be able, if the gate open, okay, because you have sensor on it, you will not having stretch the cable itself.
No, I understand that.
Yeah,
but
so-
I'm trying to say, but
yeah.
there's no. If I use some sort of inert cable to make the connection, but I need the sensors on those gates.
Yeah.
Separate zone. As long as it can work, so there's no reason why we can't do it. If we can get around the physical requirements, okay, of having a proper loop, traveler cable, so on and so forth. There's no reason why it should not be able to work.
No, I mean, physically you can use it, but in meantime, I mean, the manufacturer don't recommend that.
Because that's a potential failure there,
Exactly.
so on and so forth.
Yes.
But outside of that,
Outside of that, yes.
because
Yeah.
okay.
Could you put a separate solar control unit on that sliding gate? And
Oh,
just
yeah,
have
you
it
can.
as its own section?
Yeah. I mean, if you
'Cause
go
then
with the
it's completely
3000,
independent. It doesn't matter how the gate slides, because there's no physical wiring leaving that sliding port.
Correct, and
Yeah.
that would be the infrared, yes.
No, but even using that, could you not put your own section that's wired on there?
You would still need to communicate back to it, so
Okay.
for an alarm or something.
Mhm.
So that communication cable would still have to tie back to the
It would just be
master.
communication.
Yeah.
Yeah, at that point, you could potentially do, like that gentleman was saying, some sort of a loop, so
Mhm.
that you have enough wire to travel the distance of the gate back and forth, but yeah, I see where you're going with that.
Yeah.
You could do it.
No, it's,
It's an expensive proposition, I suppose.
It is, but
But, yeah.
no, it's good.
depending on the size of the gate
True. Right,
and how secure they want.
no.
It's only money, right?
It's only money, yeah.
It's only money, not
It's
money.
not your money.
I suppose the other thing to do for a gate like that would just be, like Kathy mentioned, is just a photo beam.
Tower.
Tower on
Yeah.
both sides, like if you look behind you, that's a mid-size. You have ones that go up to like 12 feet in height, so you can't jump over the fence and then jump over the beam, it's just too high.
Yeah.
Right? So, anyways, go ahead.
These are great questions, really good. And then this is the double swing gate application where the cable is on. And again, you know, if it's a busy gate that's moving all the time, again, you can adjust accordingly. So maybe between 8 and 5, you don't have that sensor alarming when things are moving. You can turn it off when the rest of the system's still working. But then it could go on, be scheduled to go on at 5 till 8 in the morning or whatever that you do want to detect.
and even the installation scenario of the G-Fence is very flexible, you know, for each individual. This is one of the options. So actually, this is using a non-detector cable period. Well, another scenario can I give you? You can use the gate connector if the gates is not usually often open. So let's say it's twice a year. So we have a gate connector. It's like, you know, those link box, but without the electronic inside. It will be a simple way. So we will have 2 of them side by side using a waterproof IP67 Molex cable. Just disconnect or connect again, and it will be inside. So you will have the link box here, and the small cable, and you don't need to trench. So in that case, some side design I came, so I just end UT on each side. So in that case, you don't need to trench also. So there's a different way to do it. This is an example of how to protect the gate using the active infrared. So transmitter receiver, don't need to trench. You will use here dry contact into the inputs for the G-Fence with 3000. It will communicate again. Intrusion disqualification.
Control unit has auxiliary set of inputs for auxiliary devices to trigger alarms.
Yeah, it has 2 inputs. 4 conductor, 2 inputs. I mean, usually 2 inputs, it's good for, let's say, infrared barrier. So intrusion and disqualification. Intrusion, if someone got 2 adjacent beams, so this is a re-intrusion. Disqualification, if I put my hand more than 60 seconds, I will obstruct the beams, so it will be disqualified. Or let's say, for example, big truck, stand between the beams more than 60 seconds. So this is a disqualification beams, so we can raise an alarm also.
Yeah, this just shows a sliding gate with the G-Fence on the fence and the portalis protecting the gate. So this, I know it looks rather busy, but when you come to us, come to PGSA, ADI with a project or an application, and you've got a perimeter that you need to cover, this is part of what we will send back to you in terms of the site design. This is one that we did for PGSA just recently, use case. So maybe Ramsey, you want to address, because you designed all of this, and he basically gives you all the equipment and what you're going to require and where it's placed and that sort of thing.
So in that case, we use the solar version. So this is